Hello and welcome to the Serpent Temple podcast. I'm here this week with Richard Stevenson and Floyd as well, and me. I'm Nina. So Rich is the bassist of Lowen. So this is a very self-indulgent episode. However, I'm going to let you introduce the other projects that you do because there's quite a few.
Yes, there's one or two. Yeah, so Lowen play live bass with you guys, which is fantastic. I love playing with you guys. Obviously, got to get that one out of the way first. I play bass in Praetorian, a sludge metal band from Hertfordshire. I am the frontman in Dead Flesh, deathcore band from Hertfordshire. And I have my own band, Dreadbeggar, which I play guitar and sing. It's like a sludge, doom, stoner type thing that I put together myself. Those are the 4 live acts, and then I have a solo basement black metal project that I kind of put together and recorded and did all the stuff for. So I kind of count that as the 5th one, but not quite a band. Yeah, but maybe one day.
It's not a black metal project if it wasn't recorded in the basement by one person, though, is it? So
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Pure black metal.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's amazing. We still don't really understand how you manage to balance everything.
Yeah, there's a few of them all together. It takes up a lot of time. But,
all you need to do is book a festival, call it Rich Fest.
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Rich stock.
Rich stock. Yeah, we did used to joke about this because the drummer in Dead Flesh, my friend Nelly, was the sort of similar. He's in a million bands and always was in like 7 different bands or whatever. And he used to play in my old band that I used to be in, and that's how we knew each other. And he was like, yeah, I play in like 7 or 8 bands. And I was like, oh, well, I could probably do that, you know. And whenever some like ad would come up, I'll be like, you know, we need a bass band. I'll be like, oh, well, I play bass. Yeah, but try to keep it minimal now. Like, try not to do any more new projects.
Only 5.
Only 5,
Only
except
5.
for the 6th one that I'm thinking about.
Only 6.
Yeah.
We're going to do a Psycard reading with you so that we can fully understand your powers of doing lots of things. The way we'll do it is I will ask you to put 3 cards in a row in the middle of the table. Okay. The first card will be your fast. Fast
card.
Gotta go fast.
Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Rich.
I tried to say Fast and Future at the same time.
Right.
I'm so sorry. Oh no, it's so unprofessional. The first card will be your past. The second card will be your present. And the third card will be your future. And then if we have time, we'll do one on the top, one on the bottom. The one on the bottom will be your driving force. The one on the top will be your motivating, the thing you're going towards.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah?
Sounds good.
Do you want to give these a little shuffle?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Imbue them with your spirit.
Brilliant. Hell yeah. Let's shuffle cards.
I thought today was going to be the day we'd see the split shuffle.
I'm
Just waiting for someone to come on that could do it.
Yeah.
Start dealing them.
I've done it before, but you know, I don't want to mess it up.
There's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Cool.
Be my guest. 3 cards in a row.
All right.
Past, present, future. Do you want to flip over the middle card to see your present?
Presents, right, let's
Present. Union.
Union.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll read that for you.
Yeah.
That's number 40 for people that are into the numbers. And I will find it in this book. Okay, so the Union card. A cup stands at the confluence of 2 streams. This card stands for a coming together, a wedding, or an alliance. The cup is a symbol of celebration and relationships. It is a strong card with a promise of joy and the prospect of a great river deriving from the union. It can also stand for the meaning of 2 up to now separate parts of the personality.
Interesting.
Yeah. Do you think that's about like you being in lots of bands? Like there's definitely a union element of being in a band?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, meeting lots of different people, I suppose, which I suppose I've been doing recently. You know, sort of meeting new people and going out and like doing different stuff and going to different places and things. Yeah. So I've definitely been trying to make like new connections with people and like you say, union with different faces and it's been good fun recently actually.
You were at Enter Shikari last night.
I was, yes. Yeah, I went down with a friend of mine, Joe, and his partner. and some other friends that I didn't really know too well. So that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun meeting new people and going to new places. Went to Wolverhampton.
Wolverhampton.
I mean, I haven't been to before, but it was fine. It was fine.
Where great unions are made.
Maybe.
That's interesting though, the Great River, I guess that's kind of like the legacy of your music when you release it, right? You're kind of putting it out there into the world.
Yeah, it's true, yeah, definitely. You definitely get that feeling of, when you make something and you put it out there and it's kind of there forever, almost, and it's like, yeah, this is your legacy, almost. Which, yeah, I really like. I really like that idea of putting something out and being like, yeah, this is my thing that I did, and everyone can see it. And, yeah.
There's like a permanence to it that even when you're not here, it's going to be there.
Yeah, totally, yeah. And, I like to kind of get into sort of what artists were like thinking when they were making and writing and like coming up with riffs and lyrics and stuff. That stuff I find that really fascinating, yeah. And one day I sort of hope that, maybe somebody else will look at my music and be like, oh, I wonder what this was about,
Well, that's why you're here. Yeah. Shall we go to your past?
Yeah, it's past.
No.
Go for it.
The Liar.
Oh. Wow, okay.
I thought I said the hat. I don't remember this card.
Actually, I thought it said the bar at first. And I was like,
Have you guys seen that video of Jennifer Aniston and the guy from was it a diamond thing?
Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
At, like, there's this award ceremony and there's a guy and he's in the way. And he's
Put your hat on and get out of here.
yeah, the interviewer stands up and he's like 7 foot tall. And Sandler's like, oh my god, it's awful. Put your hat on.
That's my favourite video at the moment.
The hat.
Was that recent, that clip? Or that
I thought it was recent.
I don't know.
No. Yeah, it's only making the rounds now because I literally saw that like a couple of days ago.
Maybe.
Fresh memes for you. So, The Liar, not the hat. Number 29. Fuck, I can't speak today. Sorry, guys. Number 29. The jester comes forward onto the stage, balancing on one foot, and his expression can appear sly. A dropped purse lies at his feet whilst he holds aloft his replica and a mask. This card stands for deception and the possibility you are being deceived or deceiving yourself. It symbolises falsity, disguise, cheating, malice, and those occasions where one has to wear a mask to the world for whatever reason. Were you wearing a mask in your past?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's funny you should say that, actually. That last line sort of resonates, I feel like wearing a mask in life, that's quite a deep thing to get into there. But yeah, I don't know, I'd say like the lie, I don't feel like it applies too much to me because I'm such an honest person.
I don't think you could lie.
Yeah,
I don't think
like-
you could remember the lie.
Also that, I have a really poor memory, so that's the thing. But no, I think I tend to be quite open and honest. I'm not one to lie generally. The guilt eats you up. Yeah, so yeah. But which is probably a good thing.
It is a good thing. That's why we love you, man. Yeah. But the wearing a mask thing is really interesting. And I do wonder if, do you feel when you're on stage, you don't need to think about wearing masks and, things
Yeah.
like that?
I've sort of wondered about that as well. A little bit. It's, the kind of question of, am I, permanently wearing a mask or am I not wearing a mask? Or, who am I, or should I, questions that get quite into quite often, actually.
Really?
Yeah. And then sort of wondering if I'm doing things right or doing things wrong or which definitely comes out in some of the lyrics and some of the songs that I write and stuff. But we can get quite deep into that. But,
When do you feel like things are right? When do you feel like you're on the right path?
I think definitely when I'm performing, like you say, being on stage and performing is in that moment when you're in that mirror, it's half an hour or 45 minutes of doing your thing, and you're like, this is what I'm supposed to do. Yeah, I definitely feel that.
That's really interesting. What do you think it is about being up there that does that for you?
I think part of the kind of confidence of knowing that, like, you're a singer yourself, and like you've got an amazing voice, and when you're performing and you get the response from other people that like what you're doing, and you put yourself out there, and it's like a really vulnerable thing, right, to perform and be a musician, and when you kind of do it 100% and be unapologetically. I was talking to my friend Joe last night about this, actually, and he was like saying how you just have to be 100% unapologetic to yourself and be yourself, and if one person says to you, "Oh, I like that," then that's like worth it, right? And I kind of resonated with that, really, and just doing the best. I like to kind of try and do the best like performance that I can, especially when I'm fronting, because if you're like the main focus or whatever. And then if people don't like it, I mean, I have to come to like try. I thought a lot about thinking, like, oh, what if people don't like it, or what if people think this, or what if that? But I think as I got older, I've had to like get over that, and just do it and hope for the best. And if a couple of people are like, yeah, that was cool, I'd be like, yeah, cool, it's worth it. Somebody else thinks it's cool. Yeah.
Do you put like a lot of thought into like the vocal techniques you use when you're fronting, like say for Dead Flesh, like fries and sort of like?
Yeah, I try to. Yeah, I mean, I'm not too well. I don't know a whole lot about like technique and stuff. I just kind of tried it and just learned myself, practiced until it sounded good. So now I'm trying to figure out new techniques, but I'm like, I really should get some coaching to figure out what I'm doing with my voice,
I feel like it's become overly complex though. Like there's too much like schools of thought on how to perform like extreme vocals now. There's like a reaction channel where a guy like breaks down. It's a cool video to watch because it's great to hear someone that's like has pretty much mastered those techniques and and how to perform it. But I think, the vocalists you always remember are the ones that kind of just tried their own thing until they found something that fit. And they've always got like the most distinctive voice. Yeah. That's why I feel with deathcore anyway. There's a lot of copycats and like deathcore vocals.
Yes, yeah, definitely, yeah. It's it's tricky to kind of find, what sounds good, I guess, because if you kind of vaguely know what you're sort of doing, I don't know. But I've been trying like new techniques and stuff recently, trying to get like different sounds and things. So that's been fun to explore. But it's a work in progress.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I love that. Yeah. No masks for Rich on stage.
I think so. Definitely much more open on stage, I think. Yeah, it's... take it or leave it, because it's half an hour and I'm here and I'll be gone in half an hour. So yeah, I
think it's so interesting because it's so scary to like go up there and bare yourself to a crowd. But then I think I accepted very early on that there's always going to be people who don't like what you're doing, so you may as well just do it. In a way, that's kind of freeing. That there's always going to be haters no matter what you do, so you may as well do your thing.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, do you think you feel the same when you're singing?
Yeah. It's interesting because it's like it's not necessarily who I am off stage isn't who I am on stage.
Yeah.
If that doesn't make sense grammatically, but I think you know what I mean. It's like I'm still myself. Like I don't fuck with lying. It's just too much hassle.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand that stuff. But I do think performing is like it's not deception, but I think you are putting on different masks that are still part of you. Perhaps I don't know. But I definitely do feel like there are times where I have to mask. Like we were in Pret earlier and there was like a lady yelling like loads. So I had to just like put on a mask and like not freak out because it's so horrible to be around people who are yelling. But then there's like, when you're with friends, like that's different. You're kind of more yourself, right? You can be a bit more vulnerable. And maybe that's what this is about. It's about vulnerability because you're super vulnerable on stage. But then you have to pair that with like bravado for it to be a performance. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. There's definitely lots of different shades of me especially. I feel like I always get kind of confused. I'm like I'm this like one person when I'm like at work, and then I'm another person when I'm at home, and then I'm another person when I'm with friends, and then I'm another person when I'm on stage.
Yeah,
it's like.
But it's still you, I think. I think we're sold this like idea of like you've got to be like one thing all the time. But if you were, that would be ridiculous. Because like, imagine like you're going to see your parents and you're in stage mode.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, are you ready?
Open up this fucking pit.
Like the food gets out of the table, you just start like candy. That'd be pretty funny.
Pretty funny. I do think I find it kind of hard, to be honest, because there are certain parts that I prefer to myself, and then I'm constantly like second guessing. I'm like, which one's best, and like how should I act in this way? And there's a lot that goes on up there, and it's quite exhausting, to be honest. But yeah, if any of you guys relate, but
I relate. Yeah. I'm better now. I think what helped me was that I would ask myself, whose voice am I hearing?
Yeah.
When I was going through like, this is, if I felt not good enough, I'd be like, who is saying that to me in my head? And it would often be like a family member who was toxic or like a mean person. I'd be like, oh, that's not me, that's them.
Yeah, somebody else.
It's somebody else. And like the measuring stick of who you are is something that ultimately, at some point, hopefully you get to the point where you realize you can decide. And it doesn't really matter if you're not good enough, because no one's out there like measuring you.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks you're cool, man. Like, yeah.
Then I'm like, am I trying to be too cool by like doing it? And then like get circles, man. Like there's no straight answer. It's really frustrating.
It's like a little maze. Yeah.
You are cool, Rich.
I don't think I'm cool though. That wouldn't be cool.
The secret is not to think you're cool.
Yeah. The secret is not to. It's not important to be cool.
Exactly.
It's not important. Nothing's important. You get to choose.
Yeah. Just as long as you're making cool music, right?
Right.
It's the main thing.
If you like it, then it's cool.
I like that. Yeah.
Because you're cool.
Yeah.
And it's not important, but you like it.
Yeah.
So it's cool. That's the circle of coolness.
I think we've definitely broken the world record for the amount of times the word cool has been said in the last 30 seconds.
I'm the last Ulrich of cool, man. His is my cool. Anyway, should we move on to the future?
Yeah, future. Let's do it. What do we got?
The scales. That's so funny.
Yeah.
We were literally talking about judgment.
Yeah.
And judging yourself. I'll read it for you.
Sure.
Number 24. A pair of scales with fruit hanging from an ancient twisted fruit tree. This symbol stands for justice, moderation, prudence, and a sense of balance in our affairs. It represents common sense and a harmony with the world of nature.
Wow. That's really interesting, actually, because I feel like I'm trying to get away from like common sense and like
really
yeah I'm like more chaos is what I kind of need, because I get a lot of anxiety around things being like quite particular and like safe and stuff. Like especially with like my work and stuff, because I do like a normal 9-to-5 work type thing. And it's kind of sad to say, but I feel like I'm going to be 30 soon, and I'm like want to make sure that I do like fun young people stuff, like and being in like the 9-to-5 thing like during the day, and then doing the music is like two opposite worlds. And I love the performing and writing and playing music and stuff, but it's like completely different just doing a desk job, so that kind of like whenever I'm like doing the music stuff, I'm like, yeah, chaos, like this is way cooler, and it's a big contrast with the standard day stability sort of thing. I find it really difficult, to be honest. Like, it's frustrating.
Is it stability or monotony?
That's a good question. Yeah, it's definitely monotonous. So, because it's sort of, you need like, obviously you need that stability.
Yeah.
Of like the income and stuff to survive. But I don't know. I haven't quite figured it out yet. But yeah, I'm working on it.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? I feel like kind of like since the pandemic, I think with like the rise from like a lot of like work from home jobs, I feel like it's like a bit of a double-edged sword, because as much as it's cool to be spending time working at home, like it's just, I don't know, just feels like a little bubble you get trapped in sometimes.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, when I was working from home, sort of, it was like full-time during lockdown. It was like, just on my own in my flat, and it was kind of like, it gets a bit lonely, if you're in one place for, one time, for a long time. So, yeah. But, definitely more exciting things on the music side of stuff that I much prefer. So, yeah.
And it's good that Thins are coming back. Like, it seems like Thins are, like, you know, shows and gigs and stuff. As hard as they are to run, and I can only imagine, like, the financial struggle people have of actually still trying to make it as a band. But, like, at least it's good to see that there's, like, you know, kind of some growth, and Thins have come back to somewhat the way they were before.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's great. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but during lockdown and not being able to do any shows or whatever was horrible. You know, I hadn't realized how important like performing was for my like mental health as well. Like having this kind of outlet was like, actually, I really need that, like to be doing that regularly. Yeah, I don't know if you guys sort of felt the same. Or
the first gig we did after lockdown was Bloodstock, wasn't it?
Was it?
Oh, shit, was it?
It was.
Yeah.
That was the first show we did.
Yeah. It was terrifying. I thought it was the Black Heart, but no, you're right. It was Bloodstock. How did it feel? Was that your first show back as
I've got a feeling it might not have been my first
Probably
show,
not.
but-
How did you feel after lockdown going back into
Oh,
playing
yeah,
shows?
just like, it was like, thank God.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. I must have played a show with Praetorian before then, I think. But yeah, just like, you know, you have something that you kind of take for granted almost, and then it's not there anymore. And you're like, oh, I actually really needed that thing, that like performing thing. Yeah. So I was very glad that we were able to do that again, and we were able to continue doing that.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, that was kind of like the genesis of the podcast, really. I mean, we just done it out of boredom with the lockdown.
Yeah.
Because we were just like, just need to try and do something just to like keep our minds.
Absolutely.
Totally. It really helped. And also, like, we were so starved of, like, social interaction that interviewing people was amazing. It is obviously still, but back then it was like having drugs injected into your veins to get to talk to someone, like, on such a deep level after, like, weeks of isolation.
No, it's true.
Yeah, those awkward 2 months, we just forgot how to construct sentences. no one knew how to speak.
And I talk to people again.
I have to say, that Bloodstock show was amazing. Like, I think you guys went down an absolute treat.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It was fun and strange and surreal.
It was. I was very excited for that Bloodstock show.
It was a special one for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was so cool to see you like doing your thing.
I was super excited. And it went really well. So I was
It
very happy.
did.
Yeah.
Good stage as well, I have to say. It was a good choice putting you on the, was it the Jägermeister stage?
Yeah.
Sometimes you get bleed from the sounds from the main stage, but I think Paradise Lost were late, weren't they?
They were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the weirdest way to start a show ever.
It was so fun. I can't remember what press it was, but there was an article and they were like, it was like Lowen refused to stop playing until Paradise Lost finished their set. It's like, no, we just got told not to.
We were told not to play.
So,
So we just sat there on stage like, what's up, guys?
just hanging out.
refuse.
It was like, I think they said like, they made a bolt for reference, so like they were not compromised. It was so
that was
cool.
sick.
Oh, in a world of something.
In a world of compromise, some don't.
That's it. Yeah, that was.
No, do not compromise.
We do not compromise. We came across like so much harder than we actually are.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was reading that and I was like, oh, I'm just going to be that guy. That's cool. Yeah.
It's so funny.
Great.
Shem Mustaine.
Shem was saying, yeah, like on the show we played at Oslo, Shem was like yelling at the sound guy, like put the recording on.
Oh, yeah.
He spent like hours recording.
Yeah.
Like,
Hours making a backdrop for that show and then they didn't fucking play it. And I was like, what is this bullshit?
I worked hard on that.
To be fair, it was not their fault necessarily.
No,
there was a computer mishap and they were wonderful promoters and it was a very well organised show.
Yeah.
However, Shem gets a little bit of stage rage.
Shade on them.
He gets stage rage.
Understandable.
London Doom Collective are great. They looked after us
they're
and stuff.
wonderful.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's like if you don't say something, if you don't make a point about it, no one's going to do
true.
it for you.
There was one other show where they were still playing the music and they were like, yeah, you guys can start playing. And they were still playing the house music and Shem was like, shut that off.
You know what you were saying earlier about like,
Masks.
no, and like getting a bit older, like that's it. Like now I'm the age, because you were like, I'm 30, I'm about to turn 38.
Right, yeah.
And I do not give a fuck anymore what anyone thinks apart from Nina.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Not all the
Most
time.
of the time. There are times where even that's questionable.
Yes.
But yeah, most of the time I'm just like, I'm going to do what I want to do. And if other people like it, that's great. But I tend to find the biggest rule I've had is just try not to make everyone around you uncomfortable. Unless you feel like it.
Yeah, because you don't care, right?
Because you don't care.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
It's freeing as hell. And I think a lot of people say when you turn 30, you stop caring. And like, I thought I didn't care, and then I turned 30 and I cared less, and it was really nice.
Really?
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
It's a good age.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, like I said, I definitely feel like the performing and stuff is like such a big part of me that enables me to care less about what people think of me and like this and that and like self-image and stuff. And it's so freeing. So hopefully, you know, by the time I come 30, it'll be just like, fuck it.
Yeah, you'll have like a balance in how you judge yourself, hopefully, which is what the scales is potentially saying.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And do you know what? Sorry to butt in, but I've noticed on stage that Rich is more confident as well.
Oh, 100%.
I've noticed.
You
yeah,
look amazing on stage. Yeah.
You get more into it now than back in the day.
You
for
really
sure.
let loose.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh.
Did you see that last video from we played Oslo?
Yeah.
And then you look great, man. You're fucking going for it.
Yeah, these guys just fucking going crazy. It's so cool.
Yeah, because I was excited for that show. I definitely wanted to, have a good time, and it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It's a fantastic show. I thought it was one of the best shows that we played, actually.
I agree.
Me too.
I agree.
Yeah.
Every time you say Oslo, I keep thinking, wait, when do you guys go?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's surreal that our next one's at the freaking O2 Academy.
Yeah, that's
That's going to be scary.
Yeah.
Oh, is that Islington?
Leicester.
Oh, Leicester. Oh, yeah.
Not as cool as Islington, but I don't know how big the stage is going to be. I'm kind of scared.
I googled it. It doesn't look small.
Doesn't look.
Is it like Club 85?
Yeah, I'll show you after. No,
I'm
I
going
think
to
it's
shit
bigger.
my pants. It's bigger than Club 85.
Yeah.
We're going to play on that stage.
Yeah, Paradise Lost are playing it.
That's a good point.
Yeah, Paradise Lost don't play the Black Heart. You know what I mean? No shade on Black Heart, but you know what I'm saying.
No.
I'm even more excited for it now. That's going to be brilliant.
I'm shitting my pants. We're going to get in-ears and stuff sorted.
Because last year we were going to play Uprising, we were going to play the Firebug. Yeah.
Firebug,
and that's more like a pub venue
in my
type
head,
thing.
it was kind of going to be like maybe Club 85, but yeah, now I've said out loud O2 Academy, I'm assuming it's going to not be small.
Yeah, right.
Damn, thanks, Simon.
Well, think about the O2 Academy in Islington.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you've got enough time to panic now, you know?
Yeah.
It'll be great.
We got two
That'll be
rehearsals,
fine.
it's fine. Yeah.
Should be great,
Yeah. Anyway, enough about us.
No, fuck it. Let's talk about us.
This is the confidence that Shem is talking about.
Fantastic. I love
If
it.
people don't like it, they don't have to listen.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't like it, just shut off the podcast. It's cool. Shall we do your bottom card?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
This is the card that is... I have to get it in the right order. The bottom one is... Well, I don't have to. It doesn't really matter. It's not, like, literal. But I'm pretty sure the bottom card is, like, the thing that makes you do stuff. So the thing...
Driving force.
Let me finish. I'm trying to be clear, so I'm being dumb at myself
No,
to help
honey, you're not
myself
dumb, you're
explain
amazing.
it. That's why you laugh at me when I speak. It's the thing that makes you decide. So that is your driving force, the thing that like gets you up in the morning. And the thing at the top is your goal, what you're driving towards.
Okay.
Yeah. So like the thing you wake up for, and the thing at the top is where you're going after you wake up. So
Cool.
go for it. Put your cards down.
This could be an interesting card, depending on what it is.
It's the cave.
Oh, the cave.
You wake up in the
Okay.
cave.
Wake up in the cave. It feels like that sometimes. So.
39. A character is prostrate, facing away from the light in the gloomy recesses of a deep cave. This card stands for depression and despair. It symbolizes...
Funny that. God damn. Like, yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
That is correct.
It symbolizes withdrawal into the self as a result of pain or grief. It can also mean introversion or loneliness and acts as a reminder to the inquirer that the light awaits after a period of healing darkness.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
In a nice roundabout way. Definitely very relatable.
It's
I'll say
very-
that much, yeah.
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
see you in that description for sure.
Yeah. It's, yeah. What was the meaning of the What did the card represent? I can't remember. Even though it was 5 seconds.
So it stands for depression and despair.
Oh no, in terms of the position of where
the position, sorry. Yeah. So this is what you get up for in the morning.
What I get up for in the morning, right.
Yeah, but the ending is that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and that the darkness can be healing as well. Yeah, I think that's relatable. I mean, I guess you've always got to spend time in the sad phases to experience the good phases, I suppose. It's just a shame how frequent and contrasting they can be, but getting up in the morning, I mean, I definitely struggle with that, so it's interesting. There's a lot of sort of schools of thought that I personally agree with, that like a lot of art comes from pain, and the best art tends to. Yeah. So maybe that's why you're so prolific. Maybe.
Maybe.
I got pain in space.
It would make a lot of sense, yeah.
You know those memes where they're like, they found a way to make stress generate electricity, and then it's like infinite power.
The depression is the source of my creativity.
You fool.
I saw one that was just like masturbation, like wards off serious illness. And then the next clip was just like me in 3042.
I saw that one.
That's brilliant. Yeah, but no, it's totally true. Like the stuff that I wrote and have written and probably will write all stems from depression and hardship and anger and fear and loneliness and sadness and all of these emotions kind of rolled into one. But it's definitely like a big part of me. And through the music, I've just had to be kind of unapologetic about it and be like, this is what it is, and I'm going to write it, and whatever, take it or leave it, I suppose. Well, that's what I've tried to.
One thing I noticed is you made a music video for the Sombre song recently. I can't remember which song it was from.
Endeavour Not to Dream of
Endeavour Not to Dream, yeah. And
great title.
Great title. In that, the lyrics in that song, I noticed it's very similar to there's a Zao song called Autopsy, and there's this, it's not the same obviously, but there's towards the end of the lyrics, there's lots of questions. It's like, are you this? Are you that? What are you doing? And I thought that was very interesting. It's like, are you, in your head, are you the person asking the questions, or is that like an aspect of yourself asking you questions? Like, who is that point of view that's asking you? Are they asking you the questions, or are you talking about someone else?
It's a bit of both, really.
Yeah,
it's a little bit of both. Yeah, it's definitely, a bit of both. Definitely asking myself the questions as well. Yeah, that song, it was kind of worked into the EP title, which was A Common Conflict and the Respite We Deserve. And it was the one that was slightly, I wanted it to be kind of slightly less depressing and like a little bit more uplifting in terms of like how the song was written and stuff. And the lyrics for that was kind of to reflect the sort of struggle of like, sometimes I'm really depressed and really sad and really low and everything's shit. And then other times like I'm not, you have those both moments, but then there's a lot of it, and it's like even when I'm not, I still have these like questions about, is this real, or like how am I feeling? I can never quite figure it out. So definitely a lot of questions towards like myself, and it's kind of how it played into the song, really. Yeah, I thought
cool.
Yeah, so like the title was like Endeavour Not to Dream of Death, and it sounds like. Try not to feel sad sometimes, like one of the lines is like, I'm trying, and it's that kind of desperation.
Yeah, I'm trying, man.
Like, shit's hard. But I'm really proud of that one. Yeah.
It's awesome. I really like it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. But yeah, definitely lots of themes of sadness and despair, and but all comes from within.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that links to the lyre as well, in the sense of like, sometimes you really do just have to wear a mask and cover that shit up.
Absolutely. Yeah. You can't be bringing that stuff around 24/7.
Yeah. And that's like so draining as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. which is nice. That you get to kind of open it out in an artistic way, really, which I really enjoy doing. I'm so glad that I'm able to do that, because I never thought that I'd be able to write like my own music, which is what Sombre was. It was like kind of proving to myself that I could actually write music, which I never thought I could do. So that's why I particularly like that project. Yeah, like it's my thing that I did everything for, and minus some of the solos, which Gren, our bassist in Dreadbeggar, helped me with. I'm terrible at lead guitar, but the rest of it,
yeah.
Me too.
And you've got great merch, I've got to say. Oh, I love my song.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, I'm glad.
I think there's something about this type of music that kind of draws us. It's like a catharsis in a way, isn't it? I think whether it be performing it or listening to it,
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, Sombre was draws from black metal and depressive black metal and post black metal and all that a lot of the hipstery stuff, which I really enjoy.
Oh, that's so good though. I love post black metal.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, Alcest was a big influence.
Oh, I love Alcest. Yeah.
You ever listen to Lantlos?
Yes.
That's so good.
Fantastic.
I love Lantlos.
Yeah, really good.
Do you like Les Disgrace?
I haven't heard those.
They're like similar to Alcest.
Oh, really?
Lantlos, yeah.
Brilliant.
Also French.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah.
Every time anybody ever mentions DSBM, I can never. The band Silencer?
Yeah.
Just a story about the dude with the pig head.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's like, that's surely not true. That's got to have been debunked somewhere, right?
They're extremely sus. I mean, if I'm in a straight up fash, Silencer.
I think it's like 90% fake. I don't think any of it's even real.
Really?
Because the whole story is he's cut off his own hands.
And so
like pig trot is to his hand.
I'm trying to imagine going to a gig and you're playing with Silencer, and then you meet the guy and you're like, oh hi, and you reach out your hand to shake his hand and he just puts a big trot.
It's probably like that scene. Is it like Scary Movie? It's like, hey, take my good hand. I think this is a really lame aside, but I used to talk to a guy on Vampire Freaks when I was like 17. And his username was Silencer with like ones.
Yeah.
And then his profile picture was like Warhammer artwork, and I thought it was so cool at the time.
Warhammer artwork is still cool.
It's just I don't know. It was like some German guy.
Silencer.
So my good friend Silencer from Vampire Freaks. Meine guten Freunde. Shout out.
Hey, it might be the same guy that's been remixing Neo Obliviscaris with your Lowen stuff. Yeah. I was a Russian if it was German.
Have you seen those, Rich?
No.
They're so good.
There's a random guy on YouTube.
Yeah.
And he like mixes Lowen's music with like Neo Obliviscaris.
Really?
He does it so well.
Really?
And he'll put it on like with like a film mix of like The Witcher and like
cut scenes together for the music.
So cool. And it's like actually really good.
Yeah. So are we saying blast beats in Lowen now? Like, let's go.
Yeah, for real though. It actually is. Yeah, I was just like, what the fuck? This is so great. Yeah, I didn't have the heart to like do a takedown of him. Like, he could have that one.
You can have that.
You can have it. There's like 3 or 4 videos.
Really?
Yeah.
Lowen approved.
Lowen approved, verified.
Definitely have to check that out.
You can keep the royalties to those ones. Should we do your goal card?
Yes, goals.
Friendship. That is so you.
Wholesome.
The ultimate friend. So number 11, I think.
Oh, look at that card, actually. I don't think I've seen this one.
Floyd discovering friendship.
I don't think I've heard of this concept.
Sounds like a really shit porn title.
Floyd discovers friends.
Oh, hi, you're a big, handsome guy.
Can you show me the meaning of friendship? Anyway, friends. 3 comrades are seen drinking in a tavern with a hint of a 4th about to join them. Wines and spirits in barrels in the background and an exotic bird. The atmosphere is cheerful and the beer is flowing. This card shows that aspect of life that centers around friends, comradeship, sociability. It stands for parties and togetherness.
Oh, that's pretty sweet. I like that.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's like playing gigs, being at gigs.
Definitely.
Being here, I hope.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Meeting you guys and hanging out, and it's been great. Yeah, like I've been trying to make new friends and stuff, which man is hard.
It's so hard when you get older.
Yeah. Meeting new people and making new friends.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Because you don't know if they're going to be like a flat earther or something now.
There's always that question in the back of your mind. Are you a flat earther?
Do you think it's round? Or
You've seen the footage of them trying to prove that the Earth's flat, and they accidentally prove it's not. Just the guy's face at the end. He's just like,
must be some kind of mistake.
You're like, oh, it must be a malfunction. It must be a malfunction. Yeah.
I love those videos.
It's so good.
Yeah, no, great. Like, I mean, being like playing in the bands and stuff is just great for meeting new people, which is brilliant. But even though it's a struggle to be like as sociable, and very envious of people who can talk to anyone. Shem.
That's funny you said that about me, because I think that about Nina.
Really?
Well, that's
when we
as well. You guys both,
when we go to some places, like she would just be like, "Oh, I'm going to go and talk to that person."
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I can't do that. I'm getting better, but I definitely think Nina's like.
It's like it's a state of mind. So sometimes I really can't. Sometimes I'm just like it happens very like 2 or 3 times a year. Usually for a festival, I'll be like, I can talk to anyone here, and I will make magic happen. It's really weird. Like sometimes you can just do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a skill that I find I'm very envious of.
You got to fake it till you make it.
Absolutely.
That is legit.
That's what I do.
I think with me, you probably just see me after I've had a gummy, and I'm like, hey man. The secret to friendship is.
That's funny because I'm straight edge as hell. Yeah. I'm like sober is not as like I don't know what sober is.
Yeah, that's it. But that's it for me. You're like it's like you'd get like a King Arthur, right, and the knights.
Right.
The way I see it is like you're like a knight, and then I'm like
and you're the king.
I'm the squire.
I'm King Arthur.
So you're like a knight. Yeah, you're like a knight who's taken like a vow of poverty. Or like I won't drink.
Oh, is
I won't
that right?
do drugs. I won't do. No, that's what it's called. Not poor. No, they would
you're like a poor knight.
No, they would renounce earthly pleasures
I'm joking,
in the pursuit of holiness, or whatever. So that's like you, and then I'm there in the background with my weed gummies. And I'm like, okay, boss.
I tell you what was cool to witness. You speaking to one of the bartenders at the Quran thing.
That guy was so cool.
Yeah.
And it turned out they're playing Uprising, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was so sick. There was this guy, and he had like it was like a curly. It wasn't like a perm.
It was like a mullet.
It was the coolest hair,
like
man. It was like
thrash
such an
vibe.
80s thrash haircut, right? And he just looked sick as shit. And he was like the bar guy. And I was getting a drink, and I was like, dude, I gotta say, I love your look. You look fucking sick.
I think he'd had his nails done, and he had like
he had like a little moustache, and he had a hanging earring like you. And then he was like, I was like, love your vibe, man. You got a real cool look. And he was like, oh, thank you so much, man. You too. And I was like, you got to be in a band, right? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, he's like, yeah. I was like, of course, yeah. And I was like, oh, what band you in? And I was like, I'm guessing you're in a thrash band. And he's like, oh, I'm in a melodic. No, he's like, I'm in a psychedelic doom band. And I'm like,
sick.
Dude, me too. And then I'm like, what's your band called? And he's like, oh, Longheads. And I was like, wait, I've heard that name.
Yeah.
And he's playing Desert Fest.
Really?
On the same day as we were
Desert
playing, and also his band are playing Doom Lines in Sheffield on the same day we were playing. So I was like, yeah. And then I was like, I had a look on my phone, and then I went up to him. I was like, dude, we're playing the same bill. And he's like, no way, dude. It was so funny. It was like, dude, where's my car? It was just the same energy. We were both like, that's so sick.
Did we just become best friends?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that guy. He's cool.
That's great. Yeah. That's the great thing about like the Doom scene and stuff. Like kind of, you meet one person who's like, oh, I'm in a Doom band. He's like, yeah, I know the guy who's in this band who knows this, and it's like everyone knows.
And then you're just friends.
Cool. Yeah, and then you're friends. It's
It's true though, because I feel like deathcore or something. I feel like everyone's like more preening and like, oh, I'm better than them. You know what I mean? Like whereas Doom feels way more friendly than so many other different music genres.
You can't really be bitchy. Like how can you be mean to someone who plays Doom? I don't understand. Everyone's so like kind and friendly and like
totally.
Yeah. I would be like, oh, look at those flares they're wearing. Like, how could you say that?
There's some cool flares, man.
Look at those flares, they're sick. Yeah. It's literally like...
You know what's funny though? I kind of learned a bit from Jimmy Bauer. Because when we were at Hellfest last year, I saw Jimmy Bauer, and I was like, Jimmy, and then he just turned around and gave me the middle finger. It was like, fuck you, dude. And it was but he did it in such a friendly way. It was so funny. I was just burst out laughing. And he was like, what's up, man?
My favourite thing that happened at Hellfest was we were watching Memoriam, and on stage, Carl Willetts just points at us in the crowd and waves.
Mid-song.
I think he like stuck his tongue out, and we were just like, what?
That's so good.
Yeah, that was the sickest like hello ever.
That's fantastic.
Nothing will ever beat that.
Yeah, people were looking, it's like, who the fuck are they?
Like 50 French people turned around at once like, what?
It's so sick.
Oh my God, Lowen's in the audience.
Yeah, if only.
It's fantastic.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, I think friendship is a beautiful way to end the podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on, man. We've wanted to have you on for ages.
Yeah.
And it's just such a pleasure that you made it and that we delved deeper into the cave of your mind.
Yes, that cave.
That cave.
Yeah.
The morning cave.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much for inviting me on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for coming, Rich.
Yeah.
Please like and subscribe and go and check out Rich's bands because they're really fucking good, and come and see him play live and us play live too if you want.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Until next time.